It's over. The Locusts are dead. The Lancers have gone silent. Now begins the long, slow work of rebuilding society. But Gears of Peacetime Reconstruction just doesn't have the same ring to it. And so we have Gears of War Judgment, a prequel that explores the trouble that some Delta squaddies got up to early in the Locust War. The meaty, explosive action that the Gears series does so well returns in fine form, but the new campaign structure makes it feel more like a series of combat challenges than a cohesive, dramatic undertaking. A few new modes and weapons keep the competitive multiplayer kicking, and the new Overrun and Survival modes serve as fun, class-based replacements for the Horde and Beast modes. Gears of War Judgment isn't an essential entry in this celebrated series, but it is a whole lot of grub-killing fun. Before he was the wisecracking private in Marcus Phoenix's Delta Squad, Damon Baird was a wisecracking lieutenant in his own Kilo Squad, which was composed of him, the Cole Train, and two new characters. Sophia is a by-the-book Onyx Guard recruit with an unflattering hair helmet, and Paddock is a grumbling, anti-cog conscript whose disgruntled dialogue is the highlight of the otherwise unremarkable squad chatter. The story is told in flashbacks as the squad stands trial for treason in Halvo Bay, each member taking their turn as the narrator and primary player character. The sneering colonel who prosecutes them makes a good antagonist, and the narrative tells a decent story from the annals of the Locust War. Yet it never achieves the dramatic heights of its predecessors, and this is partly due to the fragmented mission structure that just isn't very conducive to storytelling. Before almost every combat section, you are confronted with a big red Gears logo. These give you the choice to activate difficulty modifiers that put limitations on your visibility, your time, your weapons, your ammunition, etc. These modifiers, along with a few new guns and grenades, inject some fun variety into the combat, and on harder difficulties, the modifiers make things significantly more challenging.
We arrived out of ammo. Lucky for us, we found some rich fool's private armory, filled with Nashers and sawed-offs.
But while this structure benefits the action, the focus on scoring disrupts the flow of your adventure. Beginning a challenge section is painless, but at the end of each one, you are given a star rating and shown tallies of your accomplishments. These interruptive screens and the regular notifications comparing your stats to those of your Xbox Live friends make playing Gears of War Judgment feel like stunt work. Like, you're encouraged to perform combat feats for glory, and yeah, I guess there's a story going on too somewhere. It's an odd feeling, to be sure, but given the achievement progress updates that were peppered throughout Gears of War 3, it's not really an unnatural progression. There's a lot of fun to be had with this structure and these modifiers, but those looking to experience another grand Gears campaign will be disappointed. There's also a shorter campaign called Aftermath, in which Baird and Cole return to Halvo Bay on a side mission during the events of Gears of War 3. Aftermath follows a more traditional structure without modifiers and scoring, but though it's nice to see Paddock again, Aftermath is too slow-paced for its own good.
Like a bridge over toxic water.
Okay, so we get the boat and then what?
We head for Azura.
All told, there's about 7 hours worth of campaign play, so you're gonna want to spend some time in multiplayer to get your money's worth. Fortunately, the brutal, intense combat continues to thrive in both competitive and cooperative environments. Team Deathmatch is joined by two familiar shooter modes that are new to the Gears series, Free-for-All and Domination. Whether it's the gory anarchy of every gear for him or herself, or the frantic intensity of trying to hold a capture point against a surging enemy team, these modes fit very nicely into the competitive catalog. The cooperative survival mode versus Locust AI and its competitive counterpart Overrun bring another new element to Gears, soldier classes. With grenades that bestow ammo, health, and increased visibility, as well as a deployable turret, new abilities in the mix mean increased reliance on team tactics and balance. If you're not communicating, you're unlikely to succeed in defending your emergence holes against the Locust hordes. If you are working together, mounting a staunch defense is a satisfying endeavor. as is tearing through said defenses when you're playing as the Locust. Survival and overrun modes replace the Horde and Beast modes of years past, but they scratch the same itches and add a few fun new twists. These changes, along with the structural differences in the campaign, make Judgment feel like its own game, worthwhile and exciting in its own right. Yet, it still stands in the shadow of those that came before it, and little things like loading hiccups and soft textures underscore the fact that Judgment feels like a lesser achievement. Still, it's a heck of a lot of fun, and if you still enjoy utterly destroying hulking monstrosities with one blast of your sawed-off shotgun, you're going to find a lot to like in Gears of War Judgment.